Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Joanna Daniel here. We are live again today. It's 1 p.m. Sorry, 1 p.m. and we're 1 p.m. every day. And as usual, I'm going to check my sound just to make sure everything's fine. And then we're going to dive into the content. Okay, great stuff. Yes, we're good. So, how are you doing? I hope everybody's doing okay. I hope everybody's doing well. The sun is out here, so that's great. I managed to go for my run this morning and it wasn't raining. Hey, hello, I can see that somebody's here. It wasn't raining, so I managed to go for a run, which was great. Yesterday I did the power of routine, and I have one person who has contacted me to help with routine, which is great. Um, I can't leave it open because my diary is already full, so I can't leave it open ended. So if you don't get in touch with me by tomorrow, then I know that you're not taking up that offer. And and because of that, I am hey Roxanne. I'm doing a challenge. It's a free challenge. This is a challenge that will help me and will help you with routine, and it's called the Before 5 a.m. challenge. Before 5 a.m. challenge, and I'm going to run it through the Mighty Networks. So you can sign up to the challenge. If you want to sign up to the challenge, email me at my email that's going to be in the description. Email me and I'll add you to the challenge. What that means is just that we would get up together before 5 a.m. every morning and do some work together for at least 2 hours. So we might meet on Zoom, or we just kind of text each other in the app to let each other know that we're up and that we're being productive, we're doing something. So if you have a goal that you want to achieve before the end of November, then join the challenge. The goal might be to develop a good morning routine. That might be your goal. Your goal might be to finish writing the book. That's my goal. I have a woman's devotional that I need to finish before the end of November. And so that's my goal, to be awake before 5 a.m. Your goal might be just to get yourself in a routine and get yourself going and to have a successful routine um for that day, or and then you'll continue it. Your goal might be a project that you're working on that you want to complete. So whatever your goal is, join the Before 5 a.m. challenge. Email me and I'll add you to the challenge. You don't Do you need to download the app? You probably need to download the Mighty Networks app, but that's it. And we can communicate in there. It's a free challenge, no cost. So join me. It might be that your devotional life is struggling a little bit and you want some help and motivation to get it going. Join the challenge. So whoever you are, wherever you are, join the Before 5 a.m. challenge. We're doing it from Monday to the end of. So Monday, that's Monday. I'm gonna check the date just to make sure that I'm not telling you the wrong date. So that's Monday. Monday is the from the 16th of November to the 30th of November. So that's the Before 5 a.m. challenge from the 16th to the 30th of November. And we are going to meet some goals and develop some routine together um, in our little community. So if you're up for that, send me a message in my email and we'll get you added to the challenge and we can get going. All right. Yay. So I'm looking forward to that. So, as we start, today's topic is, what do you do when your thoughts are attacking you? And as I said earlier this week, that I'm going to be focusing on thoughts all week this week because it's so, so important. Because sometimes our thoughts keep us awake. Sometimes our thoughts, we can't eat, we struggle, we can't do certain things because our thoughts, it feels like they're attacking us. It feels like they're the enemy, like, because they're so consistently, persistently negative, that they feel like they're attacking us. And what do we do when those situations arise? I know that it might feel like immense overwhelm at those times, like you're unable to function or to do anything. It might feel like you're unable to meet the goals that you set for yourself. You might be unable to function in a relationship, parent, look after yourself. All of those kind of things might happen if you feel like you're in overwhelm because your thoughts are just going around and around and around, and sometimes about one particular subject, and they're attacking you. One really important thing to remember, and I know when your thoughts are doing it, that's not when you're going to remember, because by then you're in the emotional brain and the frontal lobe is offline. and you don't have the capacity to reason and think as you would have done if you weren't in the emotional brain. But just to remember, even before that, just keep this in mind, hold this in mind continuously, that overwhelm, when you're there, that oftentimes at those times your thoughts are not true. It's not telling you what's true. Okay. And what you need to do is to challenge, as I said a couple of days ago, the story around the thought. Challenge the story around the thought and identify what's my trigger for certain thoughts. What are my triggers for certain thought processes? Is it when I feel ignored, when I get called names, when I feel on my own, when I'm lonely, when I feel isolated, when I feel rejected, when I feel like people have left me out, when they have not, catered to my needs? When do I feel alone? When do I feel like my thoughts are most attacking me? Yeah. So identify the experiences that trigger the negative thoughts, because they will be. And although sometimes you might feel like, well, I don't know what it is, it's just anything and any time, there will be a sequence and a pattern. It's just that we're unfamiliar with the pattern and the sequence. And so because you've not paid attention to it, then you can't see that because everything is from cause to effect. Everything is from cause to effect. One thing leads to another thing. Just the same way your negative thoughts leads to you feeling low and feeling overwhelmed and the rest of it. So know what that thing is that starts the train of thought. What is it? Is it something somebody does, something somebody says that trigger a particular thought? And that thought always leads you to a slippery slope. It always takes you on a particular path. So I want you to not so much focus on the path, but what starts you on the path is what's going to be important. What is it that starts you there? So when I just started writing, I love to write, but I'm not a writer. I'm not trained writer. I trained in social work first, and then I did counseling. I worked in business before training in social work and counseling. So writing, though I love it and I love books and I love words, it's not my thing. So I'm not trained to do it, but I love it. So I started writing and I started blogging, but I would not share it with anyone because I didn't want criticism in my mind, I told myself. And so whenever somebody read it and would say, "Oh, Joe, my grammar is absolutely terrible," even though I love writing, so having a good editor really does help. They'd say, "Oh, Joe, you didn't spell that word right," and oh, you did. I'd get so sensitive about that, and I'd become so upset. And even though I wouldn't show my upset, it was internalized, and it would start me down a slippery slope. So the trigger then was showing people my writing and their comment. The difference is on how to stop my thoughts from attacking me in situations like that is to be able to capture them early, capture them early, and learn and train myself how to tell myself something positive early. So capturing your thoughts is you can breathe, yes, and think, okay, so when we inhale, your stomach expand, your tummy expand, and you exhale, and you do it as many times as you need to stabilize yourself. That's what it does. It stabilizes you, but it also soothes the sympathetic system. It soothes that, and it gives you access to the frontal lobe. It's in our frontal lobe that we do our reasoning and our thinking. So you have to be in your frontal lobe and present to go, oh, so they didn't mean that. Yes, yes, I can admit my grammar is not great. Yes. What can I do? Right? I can get this app, pay for this membership that will help me to write. I can get somebody to edit my work. That won't take away from the essence of what I want to say. I can tell a story even though I might be terrible at spelling and I might be terrible at this. And so insert truth into that story that doesn't damage my sense of self and my self-esteem, because that's what the negative thoughts will do. It will rip to bits your sense of self and your self-esteem. Hey, Khalees. It will rip to bits your self-esteem and your sense of self, your self-worth. And so when that's happening, it's really important to lovely that you're here, Khalees. it's really important that you know how to capture it really early. Okay, that you capture your thoughts really early. So there are some things like thoughts that attack us, like fear in different situations that will absolutely immobilize you, destabilize you, take away your ability to reason and think, take away your ability to act, take away your ability to do things that will protect you and to keep you safe. Take away your ability to defend self and advocate for self in the moment because you're afraid. You're afraid of saying what you need to say. You're afraid of who you're speaking to. You're afraid that what you say is not valid or won't be heard. And so fear can be one of those thought processes that we can feel that can attack us and immobilize us and take away things from you. And no, we don't want that. We don't want fear to do that to you. So, there's an explanation for fear which I really love, and I don't know who started it first. It says it's false evidence appearing real, and it is false because the things that we fear tend not to be things in the present. It tend to be future things when we're doing the what ifs. It tend to be things that has never happened and probably will never happen. But fear will tell you that it's real, it can happen, it's happening now, and you need to do something about it. You need to be really afraid, you need to be scared. That's what fear will do. But fear, what I know about fear and what I teach and work with people in my retreats one to one is when we're in fear, the same taking the breath to center and stabilize yourself, tell it the truth. Um, know that there's certain words when you have those in your vocabulary that they make it more easier for fear to overtake you. What if? Because fear loves what if. What if you go live, Joanne, and nobody comes on? You're going to feel X. What if you say this and nobody understands what you're talking about? What if you say that and everybody laughs? What if you put your hand up to answer the question in class, but you don't know the answer? What if you make a decision and it's the wrong one? What if, but what if you don't? What if it's the right decision? What if I come live and people join me? What if I put my hand up in class and I say something and the person beside me said, thank you, I really wanted to say that, but I didn't know how? What if it's a question that really opened up the conversation and got people to think and to think about situation in a different way? What if it add value and really build people up? What if it does that? But the what ifs that we battle with because of fear never gives us the positive side of any argument. It's always the negative. So that's an indication for you that it's not valid. It's not real. It will never happen, probably, and it hasn't happened yet. And because it's not happened yet, you've no evidence that it will. And we need evidence, okay? Evidence is what's important. So you can meet it with truth, what's true again, and with meet it with evidence. Okay. So some of those thoughts, some of those are some of the thoughts that will attack us deep in our this put us in a place of despair and overwhelm, and we're not able and immobilize you, and you're not able to do the things you really want to do. It can stifle your creativity. It can impact your relationships, how you function in them. It can impact how you show up at work and how you show up for yourself. It can stall your healing. I know fear plays a big part in people making the decision to heal and to tackle that thing that trauma that has happened early in life or that is still happening. Fear will stop you from tackling the cumulative things that is happening in life. Fear will make you tell yourself lies that you will not step out and do what you need to do to be okay and to feel better. I want you to learn from today to meet fear with what's true. And what's true is that you only know what's happened now and in the moment. And even if something happened last year or 10 years ago, there's no saying it will be repeated. So put your hand up and answer the question. Somebody needs your answer. Somebody is there wanting to ask that question, but they were afraid. Do that thing that you want to do, because fear is telling you what if, but what if will keep you in overwhelm and you'll never get to step out and do the thing that you're supposed to do. And then a year is going to pass and 2 years is going to pass and you look back and saying, if only. And what if and if only will keep you in this place of limbo that will wreak havoc in your life. And those two things can heighten anxiety, and influence low moods. So I want to encourage you to begin to tackle that. Start to tackle it around little things. What if I make dinner and nobody likes it? What if they do? What if I try a new recipe and it doesn't come out right? It might come out right. Try it. I love to cook, but it's through lots of errors that I make food that is edible, and is really edible now because I'm a really good cook, and I can say that myself now. But I used to salt water before that. But what if you try and try and try and try and you become good at that thing? What if you step out and make a plan of how you begin to tackle those things that you've been battling with, the overwhelm that you've been sitting in? What if you do and you succeed? What if you reach out for help and somebody reach back? Wouldn't that be amazing? And then you can call fear a liar, because that's what it is. And you can overcome it. Thank you so much for being here with me every day. I really, really appreciate it. So I'm not talking to my screen on my own. So thank you for coming. Thank you for responding. Thank you for being a star, Roxanne, for showing up most days with me, every day even. I really appreciate that. I'll see you tomorrow at 1 when we'll continue the conversation. Tomorrow, I'm talking about how to master your thoughts so you can control your life. And that's a key one. Remember, if you want to join the Before 5 a.m. challenge, send me an email and we will get you added. Take care. Bye.